Hello, welcome. Today, atoms part 5. I'm doing the video on atoms part 5. Last class we have derived the equation for radius of orbit of hydrogen atom. So today we are going to deal with the derivation of energy of an electron in nth Bohr orbit of hydrogen atom by assuming the expression of radius of orbit. To derive this equation, let us consider an hydrogen atom with a nucleus charge plus Ze, and it has one orbit with a radius r, and there is a one electron in the orbit which is revolving with a speed of v, right, and it has a mass m. Right? From this figure we can write plus Ze is the charge of the nucleus, right? What is r? Radius of the nucleus, radius of the orbit. Next, E with the electron, m with the mass of that electron, v with the velocity of that electron which is revolving in the orbit. Now, when electron revolving in an orbit, it possesses two energies. First one is kinetic energy due to its motion in an orbit. Second one, potential energy due to the presence of charge on the nucleus. Correct? So total energy of this electron which is revolving in this orbit with a velocity v is given by equation E is equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. I will call this as equation number 1. Now for stable orbit, centripetal force must be equal to electrostatic force. Correct? So what is centripetal force here? Centripetal force is given by mv square upon r, which is equal to electrostatic force between nucleus and electron 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze into E upon r square. So here 1 r will be get cancelled. Remaining is mv square upon no r, right? mv square only remaining here. Here it becomes Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here 1 r remaining, that r here. Now divide this equation both side by 2. Divide by 2 on both sides, such that the equation becomes half mv square, which is equal to Ze square upon 2 into 4, 8 pi epsilon naught r. Correct? So but half mv square can be written as kinetic energy. Therefore kinetic energy is equal to Ze square upon 8 pi epsilon naught r. I'll call this equation number 2. Right? Similarly, for potential energy, potential energy is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze into E upon the distance between the nucleus and this electron is r with a negative sign. Why we have to take here negative sign? See here, due to the nucleus positive charge, electric field will be outward direction, but this electron tends to move towards the nucleus. Hence the direction of motion of electron is opposite to the direction of electric field produced by the nucleus. Hence I have to take here negative sign. Okay. Therefore potential energy equation can be written as equal to with the negative sign Ze into E Ze square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. Correct? Now we got, I will call this as equation number 3. Substitute equation number 2 and 3 in equation number 1, such that total energy E is equals to kinetic energy, that is this equation Ze square upon 8 pi epsilon naught r plus, in bracket I have to write minus Ze square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. Here plus into minus z square upon 8 pi epsilon naught r plus into minus z square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. So among these two I will take common z square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. I will take common from both such that here 1 by 2 will remaining. Z square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r into 1 by 2 is nothing but this one. Minus whole term I have taken common, that is 1 remaining here. So that Z square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r, here what is remaining? Minus 1 by 2. Now you multiply that minus 1 by 2 with this equation. Energy E is equals to minus Z square upon 2 into 4, 8 pi epsilon naught r. Now in place of this r, I have to substitute this equation, right? In this equation, r, in place of r, I have to substitute r is equal to epsilon naught n square h square upon pi m z square. This equation I have to substitute in this equation. Therefore, E is equals to minus z square upon 8 pi epsilon naught as it is. In place of r, I have to substitute this equation. Epsilon naught n square h square upon pi m z square, right? So what will get cancelled here? 1 pi will get cancelled. Then E is equal to minus z square upon 8 epsilon naught into epsilon naught square n square h square. This is a equation divided by here what? mze square remaining, right? Now this denominator will come to the numerator such that E is equals to minus z square into m z square, correct? Divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square and h square. So here I will z into z square, e square into e square, e raised to 4. So instead of this one I will write m z square e raised to 4. So with the negative sign. So this is the equation of energy of an electron in nth Bohr orbit of hydrogen atom. Now we know the value of mass of an electron, we know the charge of an electron, absolute permittivity and Planck's constant value. After substituting all those values, we will get one value, that is E is equals to 9 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. Electron 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb raised to 4 divided by 8 into epsilon naught square. Epsilon naught means 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 coulomb square per Newton meter square. N is 1 and here H is Planck's constant 6.64 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joules second. Right? Here remaining Z square upon N square. Right? After substitution of all these values, here with a negative sign, minus 13.6 electron volt, or you can write Z square upon N square electron volt. This is for nth orbit of hydrogen atom. Energy of an electron in a nth Bohr orbit. Correct? So similarly, if you substitute Z is equal to 1 for hydrogen atom, for first orbit n is equal to 1, then energy of the first orbit is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt. Similarly, for second orbit n is equal to 2, right? Energy of the second orbit can be given by minus 13.6 upon, here in place of n how much? 2 I am using. 2 square means 4, that is divided by 4, which you will get minus 3.7 electron volt. Correct? Here that is a important thing where you have to find out the values. Correction here, it's not 3.7, it's a minus 3.4 electron volt. For third orbit, n is equal to 3, which is E3. Third orbit energy is equals to minus 13.6 divided by 3 square is 9 divided by 9, which would be equal to minus 1.51 electron volt, and so on. We can calculate. So we can find out the energy of electron in different orbits. The first orbit energy of an electron is minus 13.6 electron volt. Second orbit is minus 13.6 upon 4, right, which is minus 3 electron volt. Third orbit energy of electron is minus 13.6 electron volt divided by 9, which is minus 1.51 electron volt. Energy of the fourth orbit is minus 13.6 electron volt divided by 16, which is equal to minus 0.85 electron volt. Energy of the fifth orbit, which is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt divided by 25, which would be equal to minus 0.54 electron volt. Energy of the sixth orbit is equals to minus 13.6 upon 36, because the 6, the denominator 6 square is 36. So electron volt is equal to minus 0.37 electron volt. Now next concept is wave number. Wave number is nothing but it is a number of waves per unit length. That is, wave number is equal to number of waves divided by per unit length. What is this wave numbers? Nothing but when electron jumps from higher energy orbit to the lower energy orbit, it emits the radiations such as photon particles. Those photon particles have particle nature as well as wave nature. Hence, number of waves completed per unit length, that is called wave number, and that can be given by wave number is equal to reciprocal of the wavelength. Next is one more derivation is there, that is expression for frequency of radiation emitted by the electron when it takes transition from, this is very important, transition from higher energy level to lower energy level in an atom, assuming the expression for energy of an electron in an nth orbit, or simple we can call Balmer equation, right? To derive this equation, we have to consider the energy of an electron in nth orbit is given by, right? That is, energy of an electron in nth orbit is given by En is equal to minus z square e raised to 4 m divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square, right? Where m is a mass of electron, E be the electron, epsilon naught be the absolute permittivity, next n be the integer. Start from n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. First orbit, second orbit, third orbit, like that. Where h is the Planck's constant, and z is the atomic number of hydrogen atom, or atomic number, just simply we can call. Okay. Now we'll consider two energy levels. First energy level, second energy level. First energy level I will call En1, second energy level I will call En2. This is the first orbit, hence I will call N1. This is the second orbit, I will call N2, right? Now whenever electron jumps from higher energy level to the lower energy level, how you say that En2 is at higher energy level and En1 is at lower energy level? Because energy is directly proportional to the number of electrons, correct? In first orbit, how many electrons is there? Only 2 electrons will be there. In second orbit, 8 electrons will be there. If number of electrons are more, the energy will be more. Hence, in the second orbit, there will be a more number of electrons. Hence, second orbit energy is greater compared to the first orbit. Now, we are assuming that electron jumps from second orbit to first orbit. What it does? When it jumps from higher energy orbit to lower energy orbit, it emits the radiations. That is, this electron jumps into the lower orbit, which radiates the energy, that is, which is equal to h into nu, where h is called Planck's constant and nu is the frequency of emitted radiation. Frequency of emitted radiation. Now, from Bohr's postulate, we can write that emitted energy which is equal to difference in the energy of the two orbits, that is En2 minus En1. Here I am writing En2 minus En1 because En2 is greater than En1. Now here we have this energy, emitted energy value, that is h nu. Now we have to calculate En2 and En1 using this equation. So let us, we have E equal to h nu, correct? Now En2 I have to calculate. En2 is given by minus, this equation only I have to use, which is z square e raised to 4 divided by into m divided by 8 epsilon naught square n2 square h square. Similarly, En1 I have to calculate, which is equal to minus z square e raised to 4 m upon 8 epsilon naught square n1 square h square. Right? We have En2 and En1, all these three values we have, and all these three values I have to substitute in this equation. Let us see what happened. I have redrawn the diagram here. This is En2, this is En1 and N2. Now we have E equal to h nu, En1, En2. I am substituting in this equation. E is equal to h nu, En2 I am going to write now. En2 is nothing but z square e raised to 4 m upon 8 epsilon naught square n2 square h square minus this minus of this equation minus, that is minus z square e raised to 4 m upon 8 epsilon naught square n1 square h square. Correct? So this minus into minus, it becomes plus, so I am going to write here plus. Correct? So here minus, here plus. So among these two I will take common terms. Z square e raised to 4 m is common, 8 epsilon naught square h square is common. Only 1 by n2 square and 1 by n1 square is not common. I will separate them. That is h nu, or nu, instead of nu I can write c by lambda, because nu is equal to frequency, frequency is equal to c by lambda. From that equation I can write h into c by lambda, which is equal to, out of this here, minus z square e raised to 4 m upon 8 epsilon naught square h square. I will take common, such that remaining what? Here remaining terms are 1 by n2 square minus 1 by n1 square. Now I will take this minus inside, such that minus into plus minus, minus into minus plus. Therefore z square e raised to 4 m upon 8 epsilon naught square h square 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Now here I take 1 by lambda and hc will be taken down here. Therefore h into c, where c is the speed of light. Correct? So the equation becomes z square e raised to 4 m divided by 8 epsilon naught square h square into h cube into c. That is 1 by lambda. 1 by lambda is nothing but what? Wave number. Just we have given the definition. So here remaining is what? 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Now here we know the value of electron, mass of electron, absolute permittivity, Planck's constant and speed of light. After substitution of all these values, we will get one value which is called Rydberg constant, which is R into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. This is 1 by lambda, nothing but wave number. Right? So this is wave number, where R is called Rydberg constant. That R is e raised to 4 m upon 8 epsilon naught square h cube into c, which is equal to 1.097 into 10 to the power of plus 7 per meter. Correct? So this is called Rydberg constant or Balmer equation or Balmer formula also we can call Balmer equation.